a bird. It's a plane. Nope. Speed World. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Speed World 87 Classics at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Boy, am I excited for tonight. We are under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And you see right there, 1.5 mile quad oval, 24-degree banking, track record, 198 miles an hour in the home of the World 600. And that's what we're calling this race tonight, the World 100. 67 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the 87 car should be a blast. I can't wait to see what these guys are going to be able to do here. A lot different than what we've dealt with, but let's get into it and let's get going. As we get ready for the car to start gridding up, really excited. It's going to be a nice, cool 65-degree night, partly cloudy. Winds barely moving at all, 55% humidity. You bring you a light coat, you might need it tonight, but definitely get ready for some action here as we take these 87 cars for the first time this season. Well, no, actually second time, excuse me, around a true 1.5 miler. We did Atlanta. Atlanta was a tough track. It was hot, greasy, slick, all over the place, but Charlotte tonight, with it being a night race, is going to be nice and cool. So these guys are going to have a lot of grip. Having one, pretty much one groove is going to make it a little tough, but I think these guys are going to get up there and try to make the high line work, make the low line work, anything they can do to make it up to the front. And we've got a big field tonight if everything holds. Probably right around 20 drivers, so it's going to be a good one for sure. As we are waiting on the cars to grid up there, finishing qualifying. Kyle Roberts out on the track right now. So we'll give him a little look-see as he goes around the track. Looks like he just finished his qualifying lap. But let's go ahead and bring up the qualifying results so far, as we got Andrew Kurtz on the pole right now. Everybody seems to be off the track, so it looks like this is going to stand. Andrew Kurtz starting first. Michael Morrison starting second. Ryan Derrick starting third. Fourth, Josh Oswalt. Fifth, Stephen McDonald. Sixth, Charlie Gates Jr. Seventh, Matt Clemens. Steve Loving bringing up 8th place. Todd Schott starting 9th. Tyler Rice starting 10th. Dave Jones, our fearless leader in this series, starting 11th. 12th is Hitman Monzo, Mr. Phil. 13th, Brandon Wallace. 14th, Kenneth Bolin. 15th, Jason Lottridge. Kyle Roberts starting 16th. Ryan Pendleton, tonight's Legends car winner, starting 17th. Brighton Danner starting 18th. Brandon Pollock starting 19th. And 20th, Gene Watkinson, Colton Lanford, but I'm not sure that they actually are gridding up. So looks like we got a 19-car field tonight, unless something changes some of these guys, but we'll see. As these guys are starting to get gridded up, and I have no idea what to expect out of these guys tonight. Charlotte historically is a one-groove track, especially at night. when that bottom groove, if you can get down to the bottom and wrap that bottom line at the apron, that's going to be usually the fastest way. But it's going to be hard to get down there in these cars. These cars do not drive very well. Really tight setups, really hard to get them to turn into the corner and get down to that bottom line. So guys are going to be fighting all night to get down there and find that speed. So we'll see who's able to do that and get up to the front and win this race. As you see the cars pulling off of the grid now. Fantastic paint schemes as always. Great job, guys, as we are getting ready to go green. Andy Kurtz in the Valvoline Ford Thunderbird as usual. And on the outside, Michael Morrison in the 21 Folgers car. We see a lot of really good paint schemes. And some guys on the bottom here in the red cars, number 7, Ryan Derrick, and 68 of Steve McDonald, look like they have the same scheme. So I don't know if they're teammates or just a happy accident, like Bob Ross would say. But hey, good looking cars for sure. That's right, Cookster says in Twitch chat. That's what makes them fun. You got to manhandle them, and I agree. You got to get in there and you got to wheel these some bitches. And we're gonna see who's the wheel man tonight, as they're gonna have to drive the hell out of them to get through this. I think the race is gonna be pretty clean, but we'll see. Pace car getting ready to take that turn off of down the pit road. Andrew Kurt's gonna lead us to green, and we're green. Let's get that desktop audio sound so we can hear these cars as they head down into turn 1 as we watch the leader. Gets a great jump on Michael Morrison. Andy Kurtz out to a lead. Gonna set the pace as we got 67 laps. Go back here and watch this battle. Number 68 of Stephen McDonald under Charlie Gates Jr. trying to find that speed, but Steve McDonald having to be careful there as Charlie Gates Jr. in the wall. We're 3 wide. Charlie's able to hang on to it so far. Moves Steve Loving up a couple spots. He's up 3 spots from the start of the race already. So a man on the mission. Not a great qualifying effort for him based on his speed normally. Normally runs up near the front, but showing he can make some moves early. So he's still trying to work that outside of Steve McDonald, just not quite able to clear him yet. So we're starting to fan out a little bit and spread out. Guys doing a great job. You see a lot of guys really working that middle lane as the car just will not get down to the bottom. Just so hard to get these things to turn, as we have gotten pretty much lined up single file, which is, oh, you see Michael Morrison diving it down into the corner sideways. No, caution is out. Looks like Brandon Pollock has some sort of issue. Oh, not really sure what happened. I don't see anything. You see he's already, I don't know why the event viewer is not telling me what happened. We're going to go back. We're going to really lower the budget and see what happened. Is Brandon Pollock, oh, he looks like he had front end damage right from the start. So I'm not real sure what happened, but we're under caution, and I can't tell you why, which is always great. Love it. It's good for the viewers. I know y'all appreciate it when I can't tell you what happened, but somebody in chat tell me what's going on, and I'll let everybody else know. Under our first caution at lap 4, so really good racing so far. Just an issue. Looks like a ghost had a wreck and it disappeared. So Gene Watkinson was in pit road and has went ahead and exited out of the race, so he's out. Just a couple drivers that are not showing. I don't know, but regardless, yep, definitely a debris caution for sure. So as we're under our first caution, you know me, let's go to our commercial break. We've got to get them out of the way, and let's make sure that we get our sponsors in and get them taken care of.
Your nearby CarQuest Auto Parts store isn't owned by some big corporation. It's owned by one of your neighbors who really cares about you. As trained, CarQuest qualified counter pros, we're here to make sure you get the right part at the right price. Even the right advice. There's over 2,000 stores like this one across the country with a whole world of parts backed up by the CarQuest coast-to-coast guarantee. CarQuest, America's auto parts giant, because real value and friendly professional help make CarQuest the right place to buy auto parts.
Absolutely. You want to get some car parts, CarQuest is the place to go. That man looking like he was ready to go in that trucker hat and that uniform and those old computers. I don't know what they're selling there, but as we are getting ready to come to the one to go, hopefully. See a couple guys getting caught back up to the field. So I don't know if there's some sort of issue there, but everybody in the back trying to get situated. As we get the one to green, Andrew Kurtz leading the way so far. Started on the pole, not too much movement. Steve Loving up quite a few spots. It looks like maybe Charlie Gates Jr. had some sort of issue because we saw him get to the wall early, but he's dropped back to 16th place. So either that or he pitted. And it looks like Tyler Rice, Charlie Gates Jr., Phil Hitman Monzo, Ryan Pendleton, Brandon Pollock, all decided to come down and get 4 tires. It'll make a difference, even at 4 or 5 laps. I think those tires will make a big difference in how these cars drive. I don't really know how many sets they have. I think maybe unlimited. So we'll see if they're able to make up some ground. But if you definitely get 10, 15 laps and you're not headed down pit road, you're in for a world of hurt in these cars because 10 to 15 laps, the tires are hugely important. And after that, they start to kind of even out. But those fresh tires on these cars really will make a difference. So probably not a bad move. Hoping that we go green, those guys will make their way to the front. But getting ready to go green again after our first caution on lap 6. We're actually lap 4, but we're on lap 6, coming to lap 7 at 67. So a long way to go as Andrew Kurtz going to head down. He's going to take the green flag and gets a great jump. Michael Morrison, not such a great jump. A little bit behind as you see Josh Oswald having to get off the gas just a little bit. Man, you just love it, Josh Oswald. What a great racer. Always got a smile on his face, and look at him. He just looks tickled to death to be in that car. All that pink. Just got a smile on his face. We watch Josh Oswald try to make his way through the field. See what these guys are dealing with is they all seem to be running that high line, just not able to drive into the corner. I'll be waiting to see if anybody decides to start letting off a little bit early, get down to the bottom. I think you'll make a lot of speed doing that, but a lot of guys just driving in using that high line. As you see how much time Josh is able to make. Just a little bit too tight. Needs to back up that first corner just a little bit, and I think he'll be making a lot of speed as he makes his way to the front. But yeah, we're missing a lot of guys tonight. Jonah Colbert, Garrett Kinder for sure. If I miss you, I apologize. But just to kind of talk about our championship battle, and it's not really a serious league, more of a fun thing. But as we got a battle for the lead, is Michael Morrison trying to go to the inside of Andy Kurtz, not able to complete that pass. As Andrew gets a really nice jump off the outside line, but Michael Morrison putting a lot of pressure on him. But going back to the points lead, Steve Loving is our points leader by 10 points, so he's had a fantastic and average finish of 7th place. Jonah Colbert has one win. He is missing tonight, but Josh Oswalt there in third place. Jason Lottridge in fourth, and William Griffith in fifth. He's also missing tonight. He was at Talladega Super Speedway today, so I would imagine I'd be missing too. But a lot of guys can be making up some points. Steve Loving going to look to extend his points lead over some guys. As you see Michael Morrison driving it in there, getting sideways. Love it. Great little battle here for the lead as we kind of go back here to this little pack back here as we watch Steve McDonald, Ryan Derrick go at it. Oh, and you see the double zero of Todd Schott get into the wall. But I tell you what, these cars they're sturdy gals, and you can bounce them off the wall. You can get about 3 minutes of repair, and they'll still drive really well. Don't really lose that much speed. So I think Todd Schott's going to be all right. If it's a little loose, you can go up there and just knock your front end a little bit, and that'll tighten her up. So quite a few people on the move. Let's just talk about a few of them. Kenneth Bolin up 5 spots. Steve Loving, we've talked about him. He's up 4 spots from where he started. Josh Oswalt, Matt Clement, all these guys are moved up. Ryan Derrick has dropped back a little bit as we watch Steve McDonald try to make a move on Todd. But Ryan Derrick going backward just a little bit, but he may be just kind of relaxed, taking a breather, letting these guys take off and burn their stuff up, and he'll be there to take advantage of that later on. But I feel like we say that every week, and that just never plays out. Seems like you want to be up front if you can. As these tires start to wear out, that right front starts to go away, you want to be up front because you want to make those guys have to pass you when the tires are just giving out. So, man, what a great battle up here for the lead as Josh Oswalt joins the party up on the high side, trying to put a little pressure on Michael Morrison, make him a little nervous. And 17 car that looks like a Superflow car. It's definitely designed that way, but I think there may be it definitely is. Probably just click on it and show it, huh? Good looking Lumina. Always love the paint schemes. Probably my favorite car in the services. You can really do some throwbacks, and these bodies are just fantastic. The Chevy Monte Carlo has the best body I've ever seen on any car ever, and so it's awesome to see all this. We have a nice little green flag run here while I'm just running my mouth. Like 12 laps under green so far. Guys are really mixing it up. So as we got a battle for the lead, I hate to go away from it, but let's go check everybody else out, see where everybody else is. Steve Loving in 4th place. You see him trying to find a way to run down these leaders. We've talked about Ryan Derrick on his way back, but Kenneth Bolin on his way to the front. Jason Lottridge in that 48 machine, he has made his way up 5 spots, so definitely making a move. Probably needs a little bit of a caution to get caught up, but he's making moves. Dave Jones in that tied ride outside the top 10. Kyle Roberts trying to make his way forward. Ryan Pendleton as well in those new tires. You see him making up some spots, passing Brandon Wallace on the outside, looks like. So definitely making use of those tires that he put on that pit stop. Hard to see what's on Ryan Pendleton, but let's go on board with him as we watch him try to make his way past Kyle Roberts and Dave Jones. As you see in the rear view, Brandon Wallace making a little move on the inside, so let's see if he's able to get around him, because they're just racing going all over. You see he's having to slow down so much, how tight it is. He's going to get a run. David Jones gets real lot tighter, and he's able to go down low on him. So Ryan Pendleton with a great move as we just see what these guys are dealing with. You just have to put so much wheel, so much brake. It just feels like you're waiting forever compared to, say, like the truck or the cup car. These cars really reward patient driving. So look like we have a crash. Looks like Brighton Danner has had some sort of issue. But we stay green. Not really sure what happened to him. Just seemed to be struggling just a little bit. Dave Jones dropped back a couple spots. We check in on Tyler Rice. He started 10th, but has dropped back a few spots as well. But he took tires with Ryan and Charlie Gates and Hitman Monzo on that last pit stop. So not able to move through the field as quickly as Ryan Pendleton is, but definitely on the move. You see he's already putting pressure on Dave Jones. Hitman Monzo with a very busy paint scheme, a lot going on there, but still looks really good. And he's holding down the 17th spot right now as we check in on Brandon Pollock, who, like I said, had some sort of issue early on. He has made his pit stop and fix it. Front end looks a whole lot better than it did. So we go back up to the lead, and thankfully, I didn't miss anything. It looks like the front three are still battling it out. Michael Morrison not able to find a way around Andrew Kurtz just yet, but Michael Morrison not going away as he's still putting a lot of pressure, just asking Andrew just to mess up just a little bit, find an area where he's going to slip up, and then he'll go right by him. So we got a battle for fourth here as Steve McDonald's trying to move his way up through the field. Matt Clement already up 3 spots as well, so he actually may be the one making the pass as he is able to clear Steven. Our points leader, Steve Loving, he was in 4th place, but it looks like he has put a lot of pressure on his tires, and the tires are starting to give out a little bit, so he has dropped back just a little bit. He's about to be under fire from Kenneth Bolin, who Kenneth is definitely making his way through the field as he's looking to the inside. And you see Kenneth getting down to that bottom lane. That's going to be so important to get that speed. Charlotte, like I said, is a very, very low line dependent. I know a lot of guys would like to think that, oh, no, the outside does work, and we see guys using that. But the fastest way around Charlotte has always been get your car and those left side tires on that bottom line, that blue and white line there, and stay on it as long as you can. And that's where you're going to build a lot of speed and you're going to save your tires. So if anybody could ever figure out to do that and get down to the bottom, we're going to see them make a lot of speed. So well, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can do a little crank it up as we watch these guys race their guts out with these cars all over the place. All right, well, you see there's so much racing going on all over the track, and now the battle for the lead is heating up once again as Michael Morrison trying to get that 21 Chevy Monte Carlo up to the lead, and Josh Oswald looking to follow him right to the front, and he looks like he's got the preferred groove, may be able to clear Andrew, but Andrew fighting hard on the outside and doing a great job of holding on to that lead, not giving it up because he definitely doesn't want to give up that clean air And he is able to hold off Michael Morrison. Michael going to dive down in the corner. Definitely going to try a slide job here. Going to have to be careful, and he does. What a gracious move by Michael Morrison, not being that aggressive, knowing that he was not clear enough yet to do that. He gives Andy enough room to get a run and not cause a wreck. So these guys are racing their guts out, and that's amazing. What a great race is Josh Oswald just sitting back watching, enjoying the show. And Andrew Kurt's able to clear him as Michael Morrison going to take another shot at it. This time, is he going to give that same? Oh, and he starts to, and he does. Man, what a very respectful race for the lead here as we have quite a bit of laps to go. A little under halfway, so definitely not time to wreck yet as, Michael Morrison dives down to the corner, slides up just a little bit as these tires are really worn out now, 30 laps on these tires, and these guys are still racing like hell. So what a fantastic race so far. I'm really impressed. Charlotte or Atlanta was a little rough, but so far Charlotte has proved to have a lot of grip. Guys are able to really search around, find some speed, and not really get into each other. So far so good. These guys doing a great job. We watch Kyle Roberts trying to put pressure on Ryan Pendleton, who has made his way almost to the top 10, putting pressure on Steve Loving, Steve is definitely struggling as he has dropped a bunch of spots where he had made up. He was cracking the top 5 into 4th, but he is about to lose 10th to Ryan Pendleton. Ryan just gasses it up. That's a man move right there across the outside. Got probably about 5 laps fresher tires, so not a huge difference in tires, but you see that it makes all the difference as Ryan is making his way up through the field. As we check in on Kenneth Bolin, who was, or he still is, our biggest mover. Kind of stalled out right here in the top 5 to get him a little bit of tires. I think he'll make his way up towards the front and be battling for the win. Just a little bit too far back, but he is putting down some competitive lap times, actually 2/10 faster than our leaders. Of course, our leaders are up here battling it out. Man, what a great race Andy Kurtz and Michael Morrison have put on. I hate to leave them and show somebody else, trying to get everybody some screen time. Michael Morrison going to look like he's going to complete the slide job and actually comes back down to try to drop to stop the crossover, but Andy Kurt's going to go down to the inside and challenge him for this lead again. Josh Oswald just looking on, just a bystander at this point, nowhere to go as he is waiting on these guys to sort this out, but they are not doing that so far. They want this win bad as Michael Morrison has been sliding around sideways all over the track, but he is still got a lot of speed. He's going to have to give up the lead. Had it for just a second, but Andrew does the crossover. See, Andrew gets a little tight there, so that's going to open the door for Michael Morrison. And again, Josh Oswald's like, damn it, I thought I was going to have a chance to get up here and race. But that run is enough for Michael Morrison to finally take that lead, and Josh Oswald coming along with him. Now Josh Oswald has a nice run and tries to get to the back bumper of Michael, but it looks like he's going to continue battling for the second as he pushes up just a little bit off the corner. Man, I love these cars. This is just too much fun to watch as Andrew gets a huge run off the corner, able to get to the back bumper of Michael. As we got some guys making some pit stops. Steve Loving, I'm gonna cut away for just a second, I promise. Steve Loving in the pits trying to get his 4 tires, get back out there, a short pit, and make up some time on these guys. But let's go back to the front. So we got a 3-way battle. Josh Oswald gets past Michael Morrison. The patience has paid off for Josh as he is able to take the lead and does it without much effort at all, just really easy. So he may have saved enough tires, but I would imagine Michael Morrison not willing to just sit back there and let that happen as we're starting to see some players start to make their way up to to the front. Kenneth Bolin, Stephen McDonald, able to make up some time on these guys. They're battling some of the best racing I've seen all week. Wow, this is fantastic. You never know what to expect, especially in these cars, because they are so difficult. But so far, these guys have really put on a show. And it looks like I got my good buddy Garrett New Boots Kinder is in the house. Garrett Kinder, you got me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, Eddie. How are
What's
you?
going on, Mr. New Boots? Well, man, so far you have missed a fantastic race as Josh Oswald has jumped out to a lead as we're getting to lap 40. So 27 laps to go. We've got a lot of movers, comers, and goers. Kenneth Bolin is working on Michael Morrison for third place. Looks like he's able to get there. So, Garrett, I hate to see that you're not out there, but man, what do you think about the race so far? Have you been able to watch any of it?
Man, I had a little bit of it going on my stream in my pickup driving in. Of course, had to play it safe, keep my eyes on the road, but I was listening in and trying to keep track of everything. I can tell you that last time these 87s were run in this league, myself and Josh Oswald, we were battling out first and second towards the end. So definitely he's one of the guys to keep an eye on. He's pretty strong here.
Well, he's definitely showing the speed as he was kind of patient behind Andrew Kurtz and Michael Morrison as they really battled it out, and he is setting sail. He's almost a second and a half out from these guys as they are battling for second place. But I tell you what, you got Josh Oswald. I've got my eyes all over Kenneth Bolin, who started in 14th position, has already moved his way up to second. Did not pit on that first round of pit stops. So he's still on his first set of tires. So I think we're going to have a nice little battle here between these two drivers. They seem to have been the ones being really patient.
And you know that's a big thing, even in the newer Cup cars here at Charlotte, saving a little bit of tire, and that's only magnified probably tenfold here in these 87s. Is you don't have any aero downforce; it's all just mechanical grip. So seeing Kenneth Bolin being out on probably the oldest tires on track, if I'm not mistaken, and seeing him reel in Oswald like this is really something special to be watching.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I really like having you in the booth because I get a drink break while you're talking. And
well, we'll just swap out back and forth because got a glass of Kentucky's Finest sitting right here next to me, bro.
Come on. So we go on board with Kenneth Bolin, looking out the back, watching these guys battling out for third place. So let's go out to the front as we watch him. We'll turn down this audio just a little bit as we watch what he's looking at as he is trying to run down Josh Oswald. And I said, Garrett, at the beginning of the race, Charlotte has always been this way, especially at night because the grip level is so high, and this track becomes sort of a slot car track. And whoever can get this car to hold on the bottom, and if you look at Kenneth Bolin, he is running the bottom of that track, where a lot of guys are wanting to drive it in really hard, let the car push up in the middle, and drive off the top. But that bottom line is just too fast. If you can get the car slowed down, use the brake, get down to the bottom, and get that run, it just drives so much faster through the middle. And we're seeing Kenneth make that.
And
work.
I tell you that's probably saving his tires the most too, because another bad habit people have on exit here on turn 2 and turn 4 is to let that car push all the way out to the wall and catch it and basically just drive down the wall, where he's staying down low and he's getting a good straight drive off. And I can only imagine how much that's saving his right front by not pushing all the way out.
Yeah, the last 15 laps or so, I mean, he's been the fastest car on the track, and so I would imagine a couple guys he's passed, they've had to have seen that and started to try to maybe adopt a little bit, as he has already run down the leader. But don't look now, Steve McDonald. We're singing Kenneth Bolin's praises, but Stephen McDonald has run down these top two as well. Josh Oswald not going to give the lead up very easily as we're getting down to 23 laps to go. But Steve McDonald trying to make himself a player in this race, as Michael Morrison's trying not to let him get out of sight.
Well, it's always nice to have a rabbit out front that nobody's doing. Hell, he pushes
Kenneth,
up hard.
Oh, Kenneth Bolin is in the wall.
Just barely missed the 21.
Oh, the broadcast.
See if that's going to bring out a yellow.
Yeah, I don't see a yellow just yet.
I don't either. He's rolling.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody throw a yellow, because that's awful. Oh, my goodness. I hate that.
My goodness.
Yeah, we're staying green, so let's go back up to the lead. Man, it looks like what happened. Josh had to get off the gas just a little bit, and not that I'm saying it's Josh's fault at all, but it looks like Kenneth was already kind of in the gas, and when he tried to check up, I don't know how you feel about it, but whenever you try to check up, let off the gas, the car once you're in it, it just wants to push up the track, and that looks
Oh,
like what happened.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely just a victim of circumstance there. Looks like Oswald pushed a little tight and lifted to keep it out of the wall. But, man, exactly what you said. If you lift after you've already gassed back up, it gets tighter than it ever has been before, and you just go straight up. So,
Well,
very unfortunate to see him tag the wall there. Probably more unfortunate to not see it bring out a yellow, as he's going to be way towards the back now.
yeah, well, with the way this series has gone, it's really nice. Really nice sometimes to have a lot of green flag racing. So I'm thrilled and happy about it. But it looks like we've got a new leader. As Steve McDonald takes advantage of that and has jumped out to a lead now and has pulled almost a second on Josh Oswald. So uh,
Yeah, it looks like Oswald's struggling pretty good right now, just trying to keep that car out of the wall.
yeah, Josh did a great job of saving the tires this whole race and was really patient behind Andrew Kurtz and Michael Morrison. But it looks like he's starting to fade just a little bit as we're coming to 18 laps to go. Uh, Man, what a damn good race! Holy shit, I'm loving this.
What's the fuel run here? Because it looks like going through our racing chat right now that Andrew Kurtz might be making a pit stop.
I didn't talk to anybody before the race, and I'm not sure anybody else knows the fuel run either. But it looks like we got some guys taking that pit stop. Is Andy Kurtz and Todd Schotter in pit road now. Michael Morrison is just finishing up his work as he's coming back on the track. Um,
I believe
so,
Matt Kleeman's already been down pit road one time, so we'll
yep.
see if Matt Kleeman can make up some extra time and see if he can't jump these guys through the pit cycle.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'd be interested to see how this plays out. As we got a couple guys a lap down, just how long it takes for these pit stops. We're talking 20 to 23 seconds per pit stop. So normally you can go in and get your four tires, come out, and um, and still be on the lead lap. But 23 seconds is a long time, and if you're kind of behind the eight ball already, it can it can put you a lap down. So there are a lot of guys hoping for no cautions right now for sure.
Well, and that definitely speaks volumes to how far technology has come in current Cup car days about how they can smoke down, 12 and a half, 13-second pit stops compared to double the time it was back in 1987.
Well, they got rid of the guys eating cheeseburgers out there doing it. Now they got
Hey, you need the meat out there on pit road. Somebody can be the fuel can, man. Them things are heavy.
yeah, now they got linemen for college football teams out there doing it. So um, I don't know. I kind of like the old. I like to see old Chocolate Myers and guys who are just, hey, they're volunteers out there changing tires and
And
um,
just all meat too, man. Just
yeah,
all meat.
just yeah, just what they call thick.
That's right. That's right.
As we watch Steve McDonald still on the track. I'm gonna call him Steve. I mean Steven, as he is gonna try to go around Hitman. Hitman comes up just a little bit, but moves
It was a
down the
pretty good
track.
battle back here. Looks like Michael Morrison working his way around the outside of Steve Loving through the tri-oval.
Yeah, let's
Going to
go
have the
ahead.
lead by a good ways going in turn one.
Yeah, and Stephen McDonald has done a great job. Josh Oswald, these guys have done a great job saving their tires. But the difference of new tires is huge in these cars, and man, they really make up a big difference. And so if these guys continue to stay out like they are, I don't know if they can make it all the way. I don't think they can. But they are giving up a lot of time to these guys who have already come in and pit. People like
Well, we got
Steve Love and
Hitman
Michael Morrison.
Manzo and Charlie Gates coming down pit road now. So I'm thinking that even the leaders, your Oswald and your, I can't remember who the other guy was now off the top of my head.
Steve McDonald.
Stephen McDonald. I'm guessing they're going to have to come in and top off at least. I don't know. Stephen McDonald seemed to save tires pretty well, so he may be able to get away with a fuel only stop. But I think new tires are going to prevail. But we're ticking down in laps. We're getting ever closer to this end, so it'll be interesting to see how some strategy plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, new tires is good for looks like 2, maybe 3 seconds a lap. So that's a long time. So, yeah, it's a strategy call. It's always tough to make those calls, especially as the leader, because you don't want to pit and get caught under a yellow flags type situation, but you don't want to stay out too long and get undercut by some guys who come in. As we see Josh Oswald peels off the track, he's coming down pit road. So, one of our early leaders coming down to get his 4 tires. All right,
And
I'm
that
gonna take a
gives
drink.
up. Go ahead. That gives up second place over to Brandon Wallace. Brandon is notorious, man. He's all about them long fuel runs. I consider him like the Kurt Busch of this league. Man, he'll run it down to fumes, and it's worked for him quite a few times. He pulled down a W the other day in the Saturday Night Syndic Cup Series over Chuck Phelps in a pretty highly contested battle there. But Brandon Wallace, see if he can stretch this out, maybe catch a yellow, maybe do some good, make up some track position. He started out 13th, running P2 right now through the pit cycle.
Yeah, 7 seconds behind the leader. I mean, he's actually running faster lap times than the leader, Stephen McDonald, is right now. So, I don't know it's hard to say what a driver's doing. Sometimes, you might wonder if Stephen might be saving a little bit of gas. Can he make it? But right now, Brandon Wallace is making up time on him. So, be interested to see what plays out here, as these guys have not yet pitted. So they may know something we don't know.
Well, I'm hopped in his cockpit right now, and it sounds like he is staying out of it for a good long time, lifting early, just kind of goosing the throttle down the back stretch, not really staying in it full throttle. So, Stephen McDonald might be thinking, hey, I've got a pretty hefty lead here, still at 6 seconds over Brandon Wallace. Let's see if I can stretch this thing out, see if I can bring home this W on a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, and that definitely seems to be what he's doing. Because at this point, you can't pit if you're going to try some strategy, because you're already going to lose. But so I think he could probably make it.
It's going to be interesting to see for sure, because Brandon Wallace just keeps reeling him in. So, and Brandon Wallace, like I said, he's known for staying out long fuel runs. So he could have been saving this whole time, saving up a little bit of fuel, thinking, hey, this may come down to fuel run in the long run. And you and I both know it's a lot easier to save fuel early than it is to save fuel late.
That's right.
Saving fuel late, you just see that old relative box, the number in that relative box getting smaller and smaller, and it really stresses you out.
Yeah, the last couple laps, Brandon Wallace has been a tenth or so faster. This last lap, Steven picked it up. Excuse me, picked it up just a little bit. So, um, kind of maintaining that gap, but Brandon may be starting to pick up the saving himself. So, um, big shout out to Brandon and Ryan Pendleton, who kind of started at the back. All these guys are up. Brandon Wallace up 11 spots, Ryan Pendleton up 14, and Brandon Pollock, who is quite a bit back from these guys, is up 15 spots. So, Ryan Pendleton is coming down pit road, so he definitely cannot make it.
It'll be interesting to see if McDonald can pull this off. I know Brandon Wallace would love to get a win here, but I can assure you he'd be thrilled with the P2 as well if he can get it on a fuel mileage run, because that's what he's known for. And being only there's top 4 fixing to be top 3 only on the lead lap, there's going to be some strategy play out for sure. What is it, 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go now? So we'll see how far these guys can stretch it.
Yeah, Steve McDonald has dropped off almost a half second from what he was running before, so he's definitely uh, taking some measures to try to save a little bit more gas. If he can make it, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Uh, the only person he's got to worry about right now is Brandon Wallace, and Brandon Wallace obviously going to be in the same scenario. Um, so you can save. I mean, he's got 5 seconds of gap to save. If he needs to save a bunch and let Brandon get up to him about a second and a half, that's more than Brandon can save. So, as you see, just kind of moves over and lets David Jones pass.
And Brandon is saving. He's not saving quite as much through the turns as what I heard Stephen McDonald lifting, but Brandon is saving quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for guys. I know there's some great battles. Just watch Todd Schott and Steve Loving fighting it out for 8th place. I know there's a lot of great battles going on, but right now all eyes are on these leaders as they're trying to stretch it apparently to make it to the end here and try to snooker the rest of the field.
And man, don't you just know that those other guys are thinking, what if I had stayed out? What if I had saved here and there? That could be me up there battling for these positions, but it's too little too late for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really, fuel mileage races are always just so aggravating. You just, you're up there racing is, Brandon Wallace, almost 2 seconds now. So Brandon Wallace picking up the pace, not saving as much as Steve McDonald. I'm gonna give up my thought right now because we are under 2 seconds. Brandon Wallace is from the leader Stephen McDonald. So Steve McDonald very much off the pace. Almost like I said, still a half second as Brandon Wallace is coming off the corner, less than a second behind him. So I think Steve McDonald's closer than maybe he thought. With 3 laps to go, coming to 2 to go, Brandon Wallace is going to drive right by him.
There's your pass for the lead right there.
And just no issue. It looks like Steven McDonald knows he's in trouble and cannot fight him at all. So Brandon Wallace with an amazing run so far. If he can hold on for 2 more laps, what an incredible run by Mr. Brandon Wallace. That's incredible.
Let's see if he knows that Steven's in trouble. Let's see if he starts lifting anymore, knowing that Brandon Pollock's 17 seconds back. Because he can go into full fuel saver mode now that he's got the lead.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of ways to do that. I mean, you can clutch, you can half throttle, white flag is out. Brandon Wallace is going to try to make it around, but you can clutch down into the corners. I mean, there's a lot of ways. Some guys even turn their car off, to just save every little bit that they can. But Brandon Wallace, let's check and see. Let's listen in as we go into the cockpit. Here's RPMs. He's still.
Oh, he's got it.
You can hear him, but yeah, he can basically coast it. As you see
him,
he's
spitting or sputtering yet.
Yeah. So, wow. Oh my goodness.
Fuel mileage what Brandon Wallace.
Fantastic race by Brandon Wallace. Snookered the field and came home without a pit stop. Saved enough gas. Somebody did their homework, and that student is Brandon Wallace, and he is going to take home the victory tonight. What a surprise, and a very awesome surprise at that. Man, what a fantastic race. Poor Stephen McDonald. I feel terrible for him as he did a great job as well. But congratulations, Brandon Wallace, putting the drama back in this league as we've had some green flag racing. Comes home with a victory, wins tonight in that red, white, and blue American flag 99 machine.
And he's even got enough to burn it down still.
Oh,
now he's just showing off. Oh, well, he didn't burn it down for long. As the destruction derby has commenced. Goodness gracious! I love the crash model on these cars.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's a good lord.
He's about to get hit by a tire. Just got hit by a tire.
Oh my goodness! Good lord, he's got a family. My God.
That's a little bit more than rattling the cage.
Yeah, and David Jones going to come in and finish him off, and that 99 machine is a mess, but he is still a winner. Congratulations to Brandon Wallace. We'll show you the results where you can kind of see them yourself, and we'll go through them real quick. Brandon Wallace coming home with that amazing finish, that amazing fuel-saving run. Steve McDonald did a great job, was patient, was able to come through and get the lead, but unfortunately just wasn't able to save as much gas. He comes home second. Brandon Pollock with an amazing job as well, finishing third, coming home with he hadn't really been a player, got some early damage, but was able to save enough gas, and he ends up on the podium.
19th place.
Absolutely. Biggest
19th
mover.
to third.
Yep, biggest mover of the race. So congratulations to him. Michael Morrison, Josh Oswald, Andrew Kurtz. Man, fantastic race. You guys put on a good show. I know that's not what y'all wanted, but man, it was so much fun to watch you guys battle it out. Had there been some cautions, I know you guys would have been up there racing. But amazing job by them. Kyle Roberts comes home 7th. That's a great finish for him. Todd Schott 8th. 9th, Steve Loving. A little bit disappointing for him for a points leader, but he's going to make up some points on the second place of Jonah Colbert because he was not here tonight. Tyler Rice rounds out your top 10. Ryan Pendleton finishes 11th. Jason Lottridge 12th. Kenneth Boland, disappointing having that accident. I think he was going to be a player as well, 13th. Dave Jones finishes 14th. Ryan Derrick 15th. Matt Clemens 16th. Brighton Danner had some issues early, finished the 17th. Phil Hitman Monzos 18th, and Charlie Gates Jr. 19th. So let's go. I think these guys have had enough time to get up in the waiting room. Let's get them up in here and let's talk to them. Let's start off with Brandon Pollock. Brandon Pollock, this is Eddie and Garrett in the booth. You got us?
Hey,
Man,
Brandon, we're talking to you, man. Come on.
Brandon's already celebrating. Don't be nervous, man. We're ready to go. We're gonna take care of you, brother. Brandon, you got me? We're gonna come back to Brandon. We're gonna bring old second place of Steve McDonald in here. Steve McDonald, this is Garrett and Eddie the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Steven, man, that was fantastic, man. What a great race. Watching you drive up through the field, and you outsaved the guys who were battling it up there, and you were able to come home and in second place. Looks like the fuel mileage race was what it turned into there at the end. So kind of talk me through your race. Talk me through that early part as you're trying to work your way up to the front, and then once you realize the gas issue, kind of talk me through that as well.
Well, I just kind of rode behind Matt Cleveland there for a little while and was saving. And then once I passed Josh Oswald, it was all about saving after that. And I just took my time. But when it got down to the last 3 laps, I done got a meatball and it wasn't turning at all.
Oh, you lost a tire out of the deal.
Oh wow! So a blown right front, unbelievable. Well,
Yeah, and I was running on fumes when I crossed the line.
Well, Steven, between running on fumes and a blown right tire, second place is a heck of a finish, man. That's outstanding work. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of talking to you before, but it was great getting to watch you run. Kind of talk me through. Was there any kind of tire? I mean, obviously the tire saving didn't play out so well, but was that in your mind, in the back of your mind at all? Whenever you said you're running behind Kleeman, you got around Oswald. Were tires ever a concern, or was this purely a fuel mileage thing for you?
It was just fuel mileage. I was just taking my time. It's only the second time I've ever even raced these cars.
Well, to pull down a P2 is absolutely phenomenal. And it's a pleasure to get to watch you race up here and pull down a podium finish in only your second race out here, man. But real quick, you got any sponsors, any shout outs, friends, family, loved ones you want to give any shout outs to?
I'd like to just thank y'all for putting it on, the original Rebels and all the great sponsors of the league.
well, all right,
Oh,
man.
man.
Well, congratulations on the second place finish. That was so much fun to watch, man. I hope you come back and put on more shows like that because that was a blast.
Thank you. Y'all have.
I cut him off. My bad, Steven. But man, you know what? He
Just
he's
hung up on him, Eddie.
I know it. I know. Anyway, he's like he sounds like he's from my neck of the woods, my kind of guy.
It does. Let's see where he's
And
from. I'm
man,
interested.
yeah, finishing second place with a meatball blown right front. That's pretty impressive. Let's try Brandon Pollock one more time. Let's see if he's able. If he's still made it back. He may have to go to the bathroom. Brandon Pollock is Garrett and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you this time.
Come
All right.
on.
All
Well, man,
right.
congratulations on a podium finish. 16 spots from where you started. Started in 19th. Come home with a third place podium. Man, tell me about it, man. How did you do it? What was the plan? Did you come up with a strategy early? Did you have it late? What was going on?
I kind of got screwed over at the very beginning of the race before it even started. And at that point, my plan was just to run it until I blow a tire, run out of gas.
Well, man, it seemed to work out for you pretty well. I gotta say, man, this is what, the second weekend, or maybe there was a week in between, but this is the second time you've been up in the interview booth. Glad it's not as awkward as the first one thus far. Man, bringing home P3, doing the long fuel runs, doing the tire saving, the whole 9 yards. Were you concerned at all whenever you saw everybody else ducking down pit road to come get topped off with fuel?
I think everybody that stayed out, was nervous, including the winner, Brandon Wallace.
Well, tell me, kind of want to talk to you because you are right now. You were in sixth in points before this race, and a couple guys, Jonah Colbert was out tonight. William Griffith and Jason Lottridge, you were able to make up a ton of points, and Steve Loving. So while you were sixth in points, you're now going to be jumped up maybe close to third or so. Kind of tell me how you feel about that and how you're going to race going forward as we get toward the last leg of this season.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I have been doing. Uh, Hopefully, I can get a few more podiums before the end of this thing.
Well, man,
Well, yeah, man, it's been working so far. That's for sure.
absolutely. Well, congratulations on a third place, man. Fantastic run, man. And anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to the teammates Brandon Wallace who won and Kleeman. He was actually behind me on the last few laps and he didn't run me over, so I want to thank him.
Well, all right, man. Well, great finish, and we'll talk to you later.
I
All right, I cut,
Cut
him
him
off
off too,
too.
man.
2 for 2. All right, we're doing good. So, all right, well, let's bring the man of the night, big money, Brandon Wallace, B2 Dubs. What's going on, Brandon Wallace, Eddie, and Garrett in the booth? You got us?
What's up, Alien Eddie Smith?
Man, you are. What a fantastic race, man. A great strategy call. You flex that muscle. I know you don't work that brain off too often, work it out too often, but tonight you definitely did, and you made these guys look. You snookered them a little bit, Brandon. So kind of talk me through that race. I mean, how were you thinking about this early, or is this something that came late, or just kind of talk me through your race and how you ended up, staying out and trying to make it to the end there.
Well, I got a little bit of damage on that first caution when Davey spun her in front of me. I had to go and scrape the wall, and I was going to come in and pit, and nobody else did. And I thought, so I just stayed out and started watching fuel. I'm like, oh, we ain't going to make it. I'm short. So I just started letting it coast before the lifting off on the wall, pick my spot and lift and let it go. And Oswald said he could make it. He had about half a gallon less than I did. I'm like, he ain't going to make it. But then with 10 or so to go, he blew a right front tire.
Oh wow, no kidding.
And I checked my tires after the race. The ones that were on the car because it got destroyed. But right front tire was 0% on the left side, 1% on the middle, and 45 on the right side. So I had about one, maybe two more laps, and I was done.
Oh, you had plenty left.
Oh
That's
yeah,
plenty of tread. It was handling good.
yeah. So a little fuel mileage letting off and letting them guys burn their stuff up, man.
Well, Brandon, that's something I've noticed with you. I equate you. I'm sure I've told you. I equate you to the Kurt Busch of this league, where man, if somebody's going to try and stretch a fuel run, it's almost guaranteed every time it's going to be Brandon Wallace. Tonight, it worked out for you. It's worked out for you in the past numerous times. Man, how do I'm sure you've got the fuel mileage and stuff calculated down, and we talked about how it's always easier to save early run than late run. Is it something that, I mean, it just automatically clicks for you that says, hey, we're going to be this many laps short, this is what I need to do, and you start saving immediately? Or do you have to kind of get a couple laps in and kind of get your feel down for it before you really start saving?
Well, I usually get it depends on where I qualify. I usually try to get a couple laps in. If I'm at the back and a caution comes out, I'm coming for fuel. Maybe no tires, but I'm coming for fuel because those 4 or 5 laps can mean the difference. And in this case, like I said, Davey kind of spun in front of me and nobody pitted, and I was in 10th, and it was like, what I do? So I just stayed out. And then it was like, okay, now I got to start saving fuel because we ain't gonna make it.
Well, man, it was outstanding to watch the fuel mileage race play out. You absolutely blew by Stephen McDonald. I think he also had blown a right front. I didn't know if you do that, but he had lost his right front as well. So you having the 0 and 1% or 0 and 4% left, it was definitely some tire saving there as well. So big shout out to you, man. Big props to you. You got any sponsors, shout outs, family members, loved ones you want to give any love to?
Yeah, man, I want to give a shout out first to the league, my Reaper Racing teammate, including you, the Pale Horse guys in this race, Oswald and everybody for putting this on. Of course, the Alien for broadcasting it, and special shout out to the Giraffe himself, William Griffith. Man, we're thinking about you tonight, your dad, and our prayers are with you, brother.
Well, man, congratulations, Brandon. Another win. Well, I don't want to let you go just yet because there's playoffs are starting to pick up. Kind of talk me through what you got. I mean, you race pretty much every night, it seems like, and you're in a lot of series, but you're in a lot of playoffs too. I mean, this week you're starting to pick up some momentum. You won in the Syndic Cup Series and then tonight as well. And kind of talk me through. I mean, what's going on, man? What you drinking? What's the secret? I'm looking for some tips as we go down into the playoffs.
Man, it's a secret alien sauce sports drink I got. I can't tell you about it, or I'd have to kill you.
That's like Mike's secret stuff from Space Jam. Is that what it
That's
is?
right.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
right.
Yeah. Well,
No, I've been stuck in been in the playoffs in pretty much all the series that I get in. Not up high other than Xfinity. I think I was fourth, but it's just being there at the end of these races and not crashing out, and but being teammates with Kinder and Griff and all those guys, and even racing around you and the Barkus and those goat locker guys, man, it makes you faster.
well, man, you
Well,
are
that's
peaking.
high praise. High
Yeah.
praise, man.
Well, you're peaking at the right time, and man, it's so much fun to watch you win these races. I can tell you right now. I'll be honest. I was pulling for Chuck the other night a little bit, but to see you take the win as well was really exciting. So, man, another win tonight, and you stuck the whole field. So, congratulations on a win, man. And man, go burn it down. Drink a couple beers for me.
All right, we appreciate you guys, everything you guys do. Thanks, Kinder. Thanks, Eddie.
You bet, bub.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
All right, I cut him off too. So we're 3 for 3. No disrespect from anybody else. We're gonna disrespect everybody. Well, Garrett, you got about half of the race, and man, I tell you that was about the most fun, exciting, drama filled race that we've had so far in the 87 series. They've all been different. The Daytona race was, it was a little messy as people are starting to get used to it. Atlanta was a big mess. Oh, it was just so much wrecking. Darlington, everybody was kind of respecting the track, and then last week had a lot of fun at Talladega, which showed to be a blast. But then tonight, it just seems like the field is starting to really understand this car and get it figured out. As we had only one caution, I believe, the whole race. So I don't know how you feel. You've been in these races, you tell me. But it seems like everybody's starting to get a good feel for it, and the racing's picking up and being amazing.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve when it comes to these cars. Is that they drive like I consider them like a tank with four wheels. They don't turn. The steering wheel's the size of a boat wheel. I mean, they're just completely different from anything else we run over here in Rebels. Uh, the turning radius, the lack of aerodynamic downforce and grip. But you're exactly right. These guys have got used to running these cars. They know what they can do, what they can get away with, and what they can't. And I also think the respect thing, that now that they've kind of seen, and it's not so much as a pecking order of, okay, this is where I belong in this field. Because I mean, anything can happen. Look at tonight where there's people that, they're top 10 cars by far, but maybe they're not always in the podium. These guys come out here and snagging W's tonight, and it's absolutely phenomenal to see. You love to see people that everybody gets a chance to go out and win. I can tell you, I would not have had the bravery to go out and run this as a fuel mileage race, just because, for one, I'm not Brandon Wallace, and I'm definitely not Stephen McDonald. But big shout out to those guys, man. Big shout out to you for bringing me in, letting me come in, hop out, and hang out with you. And man, I had a blast.
Well, it's always good to have Garrett New Boots Kinder in the booth.
Just new boot goofing, friend. New boot goofing.
That's right. And so you really add to the broadcast. I appreciate you coming in. It's always fun to kind of throw it off somebody else. And but let's talk about the rest of the season. If you got a few minutes,
Absolutely.
pulling up the standings here. Steve Loving still holding on to that top spot at 224 points. Josh Oswald at 214. So that has pretty much stayed the same. But Jason Lottridge moves up into third place, and here we are. Brandon Pollock, who we've talked to 2 weeks in a row, is up in fourth place. Had a rough start, but has shown up and made it to the end of these races. And tonight, had a great strategy call, and he's got himself into the mix. I mean, that's 24 points that separates first and fourth. So as we get down to the end of this, it's going to be a big change. Brandon Wallace got himself up in the sixth. Michael Morrison's in fifth. And Jonah Colbert, who has won a race, is dropped back to 7 after missing tonight. So this definitely mixed up the points. I'm excited to see where this ends up. I think it could end up being an interesting interesting points race.
It absolutely will be. And just like we said, that these guys learning the cars, the guys that kind of already knew the cars, they're really coming into their own, and they're figuring out their groove and exactly how to run these tracks. You see it with people like Brandon Pollock. You see it with Josh Oswald. And Jonah is phenomenal at these cars. He's been caught up in some bad luck, unfortunately. Steve Loving, same thing. He's good at these cars, but they're really coming into their own. So I expect to see tighter battles. If fuel mileage races come down to it, after tonight, I expect to see more people maybe trying to gamble a little bit, roll them dice on the fuel mileage, and see if they can get something done that way. See if they can take the old Brandon Wallace model and take the victory lane.
Absolutely. Well, and it doesn't get any easier from this point on. We are over halfway, so and there's no playoffs. There's nothing that's going to save you if you have a bad race. So it's just going to be you race your way, and whoever is the top dog is the top dog. But it doesn't get any easier after this as we head next week to Pocono, which I cannot wait to see what that race is going to look like. Pocono, not one of my favorite tracks, and I definitely would not look forward to racing it in the 87 cars, but I've never driven it on there, so I don't know. But if I see these guys, if I see Josh Oswalt, Andrew Kurtz, Michael Morrison, Steve McDonald, Ryan Pendleton, these guys who can wheel a race car, Brandon Wallace, if we see those guys get out there, Jonah, I think it could be exciting. Then we head to Dover, which
That's going to be treacherous. I don't know what's going to be more treacherous, Dover or the tunnel turn at Pocono. One of those two is going to take a lot of lives.
Well, down Dover is like the tunnel turn every turn. So
that's right.
It's gonna be interesting to watch those guys take both of those tracks. I think that's. I mean, I'm excited to see them. I want to see these guys do it. I think they're going to put on a good show regardless of what track we go to. But Pocono is going to be tough. Dover, definitely tough. Then we go to Michigan. Michigan should be big and wide and should be an amazing show. And then we end up at Rockingham, which everybody's got their opinions, but Rockingham and these cars are made. They're like peanut butter and jelly. They're
That's
like
right,
milk
baby.
and cereal.
That's right.
They're like a good beer and a good woman. You know what I'm saying? They go
Eddie
together.
Morrison, Eddie Smith, and Garrett Kenner. That's what they're like, man.
Man,
Go together
come on.
well.
Made to be. So I cannot wait to see Rockingham. I think that'll be fun. But I'm loving to see, and I'm going a little bit long, but I just like having you in here to throw ideas off of. But I'm loving to see the progression of this group. We've already talked about it a little bit, but just seeing these guys progress in these cars and learn them and get better and better and better and put on such a great show. I mean, I can't wait to go back. I watched it. I was here, but I'm gonna go back and watch it again because of just
absolutely.
how good these guys are getting. I mean, Atlanta, while it's a little bit slicker and it was during the day, so it was really hot, it was still a mess. It was just a messy race, but this race was clean. It was fantastic. We had long green flag runs, and so I just cannot wait to see what the rest of the series is going to do. So, any closing thoughts?
Well, just kind of piggybacking off what you said, this would be my closing thought. The way that these guys have learned these cars and the respect that they've kind of grown for each other, and it was great to listen to them. I was down in the voice chat earlier before I hopped up in the booth. I can only expect great racing from Pocono, even from Dover. As difficult a tracks as those are going to be, these guys aren't going to drive over their heads. They're not going to drive over the car's ability, but they're still going to race it out, and they're still going to be racy guys out there, and it's going to be a blast to watch. So for all y'all back there in TV land, hopefully y'all come on back. Y'all tune into Rebels Racing Network. You hang out with Eddie and Eddie Speed World. Maybe I might make an appearance. You never know. And hopefully y'all come back and watch these 87 cars go roundy round and have a good time with it.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, we want to see you back in the car, Garrett. I think while you're great up in the booth, you're better in the car. We want to see them 90-degree saves for sure. But as we close it out, man, congratulations again to Brandon Wallace. Congratulations to everybody that ran up front. Guys who pitted and weren't able to come away with the victory. Josh Oswalt, Michael Morrison, Steve McDonald, Andrew Kurtz. I mean, congratulations. But you guys put on a hell of a show. Really fun to watch. And I tell you what, we're going to end it off on a Busch Beer commercial. Let's go ahead and just take it. We'll end off on a commercial. Thank everybody for watching, man. Sure appreciate it. And y'all have a good night.
Man has always been fascinated with speed. But winning is more than a quest for speed. It's a measure of skill, a test of guts. And though NASCAR has changed through the decades, its spirit never will. It's not just the machine, it's the man who drives it. We're proud to be a part of this great sport. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR.